y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games, episode 288. Oh my gosh, it's your boy Gabe Patilla with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully you can't tell in my voice, but I am freaking exhausted.
I thouh you were going to say mad. I'm so mad.
It's so mad. Right? What do we do?
I'm so freaking mad right now.
No, because remember, you're supposed to be all good after the oh, yes, y'all. Then you
Oh,
get
yeah.
picked up.
That's right.
Everything
not mad.
falls into place.
That's right. Everything is tumbled into where it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Oh, man. Ed Placencia?
Yes, sir.
That sounded convincing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
nice
this will be
try.
good.
Yeah.
I just told you how tired I was.
What's going on with you, brother?
Oh, not too much. Last week, Sarah was out of town for most of the week.
Ed, I so appreciate how hard you're trying right now.
I know.
Oh, I'm not trying very hard at all.
Your efforts have not gone
We
unnoticed.
appreciate you all the same.
Exactly.
I'm actually in mid-stretch as I talk, so it's... but you can't tell.
He's doing freaking yoga in the middle of podcast.
Stretch. Oh, my gosh.
He's got the one side of his hair just totally flipped straight up. Because
Yep.
Oh,
He's
I
got the
love
old
this picture I
tabletop
have in my
going on.
head.
Yep. Mhm.
You're just calling it out piece by piece, you guys. You're nailing it every time.
Nailing it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, Sarah was away for most of the week last week, so kind of doing the Bachelor thing. She was gone,
Handing out roses.
handing out roses, breaking hearts.
That's right. You know, like you do.
Like I do. And so I went and saw Tomb Raider in the theaters.
Hey.
And man, that was a lot of fun.
Good.
I had such a good time. I was
Just the experience of going to the theater.
By
The
yourself.
experience of going to the theater was fun. The movie was fun. The drive was pleasant on the way there. It was just all around a really good time. But I was so happy that the movie, they did such a good job with the movie. Just like they did with the recent video games where they kind of rebooted it, started Lara off as kind of not a superhero, but just a regular person thrown into the midst of everything.
Mm-hmm.
They did the same thing with the movie, and I really, really liked it. They gave her a lot of depth, and it wasn't just
They did?
Yeah.
Good.
It wasn't just like Wonder Woman walking in from the get-go. You know, it was a
Very
regular
Very cool.
girl, and it was a lot of fun. It was really well done. I thought it was going to be, judging from the previews, a lot of the previews were scenes from the game.
That's
So
right.
I thought, oh, this is just going to be the game in movie version. And the setting was the same as the game. And that was pretty much it. They did a really good job of kind of tweaking it to make it palatable for anyone that would go see the movie. And I really, really appreciated that. And one thing I really appreciated, I don't know if it was, it was just kind of a small little detail, but there was a wrecked plane that she had to kind of, or a boat that she had to kind of climb around in the very beginning, much like in the beginning of the game. And where she was climbing, just like in the game, you know how you can tell where you're supposed to climb because it's
because
kind
of
of
the
got
yellow or white or
Did
whatever.
they
white,
highlight it?
And so they highlighted in white where she was going to have to, and that was the only time they did that, but that was a nice little nod
Oh,
of,
what a great call.
That
it
is a
was
good call.
really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. So I was
I
really
like
happy with
that.
it. I was saying to someone this week that as far as action movie goes, it wasn't Die Hard, but it was definitely better than Die Hard 2. And I liked Die Hard 2. So,
So is it like story wise? Is it kind of based off that first game when the whole series got rebooted? Do you know?
Yeah,
Or-
it takes place on that island, that same island. They're looking for that same Himiko, the ancient Japanese priestess or queen. I forget exactly what her title was, but so
cool.
it's kind of the same setting.
And this one follows the first of the new reboots, right? Not the second game of the reboots.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't remember what happened
So
to that
that means
thing.
we got 2 more coming.
Exactly. So yeah, it was really nice. It was I played the game and I definitely recognized set pieces, but I didn't always know what was going to happen, which was pretty cool. So it was a fun experience for someone who'd played the game and loved it and still didn't know what was going to happen next. So they did a nice job.
So it was an actually good video game movie.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hey, look at that.
I wasn't a huge fan of the original Tomb Raider movies when they came out, and so it was kind of cool to be a fan of this one when it came out, and so I was really happy to go see that. And
isn't this one more grittier? Like I think the Angelina Jolie one seems a little bit more like polished and more clean, and isn't this one supposed to be a lot more grittier?
Yeah, those seem like the boy band version. This seems
exactly.
like Mumford and Sons.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
a
what I'm
great
trying
way
to
to
say.
put it. Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes, I
Bust
love
out
that.
the banjo.
That's right.
Right. And then when Sarah came home, I told her I went to see it, and she wants to see it as well. So I'll probably go see it again this week.
Really? All right.
Movie Pass.
Thanks,
And,
Movie
There you
Pass.
go.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it was really nice. Then this weekend, my brother and his family and dad came over, and we spent an afternoon laughing our heads off playing VR.
Oh,
And it was
sweet.
What'd y'all play?
so much fun. We played everything.
that's
I
awesome.
I didn't actually think. Usually, when Dad comes over, even when we play like Jackbox games, he's like, "Nah, I don't want to play. I'll just watch." And it's like,
Really?
it's really easy, you know. And he's like, "No, I'll just watch." And Dad was in there with the VR hat on and experiencing it, and did
Everybody
such
was
like,
laughing.
He was such like an old man about it because he had the helmet on and the headphones, and I was just like, "Dad, what do you think?" And he kind of just nods his head and says, "This is pretty okay."
Nice.
Yes.
This is
Love
pretty okay.
Pretty okay.
Okay.
They're actually going to put that on the box.
Yeah, I
I know,
think so.
exactly.
Placencia is pretty okay.
Dash Placencia Senior.
Exactly. But yeah, we played everything. And then we ended up the evening with I introduced them to Nidhogg, and we just were laughing and just
Oh, nice.
having such a great time. I think it was Stancil that introduced us to that game. Is that
Yep.
right?
At
Introduced
200.
me.
At
yeah.
200.
Mhm.
Stancil or Chris?
It was
No, it wasn't.
Stancil.
I got introduced by Stancil, yeah.
Okay. And it was
That's when we saw
Exactly.
Chris laugh really hard.
and it's exactly the same thing. That same just laughing our heads off, just crying, laughing, and just the same thing. So it was so much fun.
Can anybody hang with you when it comes to gaming? Like, are you going to lose ever? Or are you going to just beat people
yeah.
over and over again?
Yeah, like, especially something like Nidhogg, where it's just so random and just anything could happen, and you can button mash and beat someone, and so that was fun. And then with the VR, for the most part, it's a one player experience, and everyone else is kind of like laughing and watching, and so it wasn't really a lot of versus stuff, which was kind of fun.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, fun watching people experience what was going on.
Nice.
Yeah, as far as solo gaming goes, I guess not really solo. Played again a good week of Overwatch with Chris and Jared and Dan and Lem and Kaboski and Aaron and just it's just so much fun to play with those guys. The family, yeah.
The fam.
Check it out. And the new character Brigitte, we got to take for a spin last night and yesterday afternoon.
How is she?
And it's like any new character, it takes a while to get used to, especially playing against her. And I knew that was going to be the case because she's swinging that chain around, and she is powerful. She
Really?
is strong. I was at one point I was Orisa, and she was coming at me, and I was just shooting her in the head, and she took me down.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So it
Jeez.
was fun to play and just experience and mess around with. Still going to town on the Assassin's Creed Curse of the Pharaohs DLC,
Oh, nice.
and loving that, having a good time with that still. It's such a huge, a bigger DLC map than they came out with the last time around, which is really, really cool.
Man, they are just keep pushing out that content. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And then Ubisoft is yesterday released the South Park Fractured But Whole
Yeah, they did.
DLC from
Yeah, they
Dusk
did.
Till Casa Bonita.
It's just
And
awesome.
If you
Jeez.
were alive in the 80s, you're gonna need to play this DLC.
Really?
Done. I will take care of that. Absolutely.
All I'm
Which,
saying.
by the way, I heard that games got announced also for Switch. I didn't know that. Like somebody mentioned on Twitter or something like that.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Fractured Butthole, coming to the Switch.
Yeah. But it was such a good time to hop in there and a pretty short DLC, especially compared to Assassin's Creed, but it was still a couple hours of a lot of fun and laughing and just, oh my gosh, these guys are hilarious. So it was
great.
It was a good week all around. No complaints from Eduardo.
There you go.
That's
nice.
good.
Router.
Oh, Piper's topic of the week this week, and yes, I do ask her. I know somebody on Twitter had said, or
so you just Discord make them
up? Yeah, do you just make them up? I'm like, no, I actually do.
Your game, Router.
He's like, Piper's topic of the week: how handsome I am. Really weird.
Exactly.
Piper's topic of the week: the Pythagorean theorem.
Exactly. No, I do ask her, and sometimes she'll just blurt out whatever she's been working on. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So sometimes, yes, I will tweak it a little bit, but this time it's no joke because for spring break, we are going to the beach. So she is very excited.
Oh, nice.
Spring break starts this weekend. So we're going to leave on Monday and come back on Friday, I believe.
Hey,
so,
very nice.
Yeah, we're excited. We kind of didn't really know what we were going to do. A couple, just even last week, and we're like, yeah, well, let's go to the beach. I think it'll be fun, and we'll just pack the car up and head on down. It's an easy drive, and I need some warmth in my life right now. I need some beach in my life, so let's go make that happen. And it's just
going back down to Florida.
Yeah, we're gonna go down to Seaside.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be really great. And it's just been a crazy adulting week. I have not played a single console game, and it's driving me nuts. So a lot of Clash Royale though, so that's good.
There you go.
There you go.
But it's
you need to get back in the clan. Are you back in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I've been back in there.
He never left the clan.
Oh yeah.
No, I did.
Yeah.
I did leave the clan for a little bit, and then I rejoined it, and I've been donating like a mug now, man. Come on.
Heyo. Stan's so freaking over there running things too, boy.
He
It's crazy.
Running.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
he is running it there. Yeah.
That joke was running for mayor.
He is. He's like booting people that are like. He's like, nope, you're gone. And
Yeah,
it's like,
freaking Clash
people
Town.
It's Clash Town. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, but it's just a lot of adulting. I've got my meeting with my accountant tomorrow for tax purposes, so I've been just doing all this tax prep and going through receipts and doing all that. I mean, it's one of those things where I should have been doing it throughout the year, and I think this year I'm going to start to, just because it's not.
That's what you say every year.
I say it every year too. That's the thing. Like, but this time, like I actually did, and I've got a good, like I'm already caught up for 2018, and it will make my life a lot easier if I just do it like the first of the month. Just go back and go through all my statements and receipts and everything, because it's not that it's hard work. It's just very tedious work.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Sure. Yeah, it's just annoying because you got to make sure you, and my accountant's got me fairly organized and like, keep this, make sure you focus on this. But, you know, like I said last week, like we have a sale of a house and a purchase of a house. So what are the tax implications for that? And like all this other stuff. So that's really what I've been doing. Piper had a soccer game this past Saturday and she did really well. And so we're in full swing. We were supposed to have a game last night, but that got canceled because it freaking snowed here on the first day of spring in Nashville.
So ridiculous.
In March.
Really?
Huh.
It's crazy.
It was freezing last night. I was mad.
Yeah, because it started, the morning started
Came out of
like,
no place, it felt like.
Yeah, the morning started at like 50 degrees, and then by the end it was like 30 or 28 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, last night was stupid.
Yeah, it was really stupid. But I do have one really kind of fun work thing. I've been working on a movie project for the past 7 or 8 months with the marketing team that I've worked with for years. And the movie was I Can Only Imagine, which is about Bart Miller and Mercy Me.
That's right.
And it became this past weekend, it was the number 3 movie in the country.
Hey,
there you go.
It just behind Tomb Raider, actually. So I'm really proud. Like we had a big conference call with the directors, the Irwin brothers, who did a couple other movies like October Baby and Woodlawn and Mom's Night Out. All these projects I've worked with, and I've worked with them forever. And Roadside had picked it up and distributed it, and it did close to 18 million on the weekend, and it's already we haven't lost a single theater. We've actually added a few theaters, and it did like 1 million on Monday and 2 million yesterday. So it's kind of gaining some traction.
Wow,
and
nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's really cool, and I'm really proud to be a part of that project, and it's nice to see my name up there in the marketing credits. And so yeah, it's kind of a really nice, proud moment. This is one of those projects that a lot of people worked really hard on, and I did the website for it and a bunch of eBlast, HTML, eBlast, and communication stuff, and basically whatever the marketing team needed for online stuff. I'm pretty much their go-to guy for that. And
Sick.
yeah, it was really cool. So I was really happy, and everybody was really thrilled. And the movie is really great.
That's what I hear.
It's
People are saying it's really good.
It's a lot about forgiveness, and Dennis Quaid plays Bart's father. And yeah, it's really cool. And it helps that you have a band like Mercy Me to kind of help promote the movie as well. They did that a lot on their tour, on this tour that they were working on. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it was really, really cool. It's a nice little weekend. That's really, really awesome. So I was really proud of that. And honestly, like, that's why I've been so busy. Like, we've got, I Can Only Imagine just came out this weekend. I'm working on another movie called Paul the Apostle of Christ, which comes out this weekend. That's from Sony. And just like, there's just a lot of stuff happening all at the same time. So
Nice.
it's been working taxes for me and no consoles. But by this weekend, right before I go to the beach, I'm going to try and get some, finish up the Frozen Wilds, because I got Far Cry 5 coming, and I'll be at the beach, so I won't even be able to pick up my copy at Best Buy. So I'm like,
So you're gonna have to wait a little longer, Morning Crew.
That's
man.
right, a little longer, Morning Crew, because I will be streaming that one, and because I miss my Morning Crew, and yeah, and we'll get back in the swing of things. So, but it's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
There you go.
Nice, good deal.
I'm off to the beach, sucker. See ya.
So are you gonna be on location next week,
Yes, I will have to be in a car on location somewhere, I'm sure.
or on assignment as
Or
as
yes,
it were?
yes, on assignment. Yeah, we'll figure it out. You guys just let me know when we need to do it.
Have we talked about the small trivia, the senseless trivia that goes along with that saying on this podcast? Anyway, the guy who first said that, I forget who it was. Everybody would
what?
know his name. That he was on assignment.
He was on assignment.
That
okay.
was the name of his boat.
Really?
And so,
Get out!
yeah, and
Really?
it was a news anchor, a really famous news anchor, like Walter Cronkite or something like that.
Right.
I don't remember who it was, but when he would take a break, he would go out on his boat, and his boat was called Assignment. And so they saying he's off on assignment. And it was like
That's
a
hilarious.
tongue-in-cheek
That's
thing.
hilarious.
That they would do.
Clever.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The more you know. Bling!
Yeah.
Right? That's so cool. I like that.
That's really cool. Nice little fact you got there, Gabe.
Yeah. It's probably wrong, but we'll find out next week.
We'll find out when we get oops next week. It'll be
White
great.
History Month.
News History Month.
I'm gonna name my desk assignment. And be, I'm just here coming to you guys from on assignment.
There it is.
Right.
Yep.
Chris McCracken.
Yes, fellas. So last Friday, Stacy went and picked up our little nieces. So she had a few more vacation days that she had to use. We had to use all of our vacation days by the end of this month. I think actually this might be the last week that you're eligible to use them. So she had about 4 more days. So she took off Friday, and then this week she took off Monday, Tuesday, and then today, Wednesday. Because she went and picked up our little nieces on Friday. They were out of school this week right now that we're in currently is their spring break, but they had that Friday off for like a teacher's day where they had to do teachery stuff. So she went and picked them up then, and they've just been hanging out with us, staying here. She's been running all over the place, doing all kinds of stuff with them. On Saturday, we went all kinds of different places. We went up to Buc-ee's, which is a place they went, which I don't know. I think Buc-ee's might only be a Texas thing. It's a huge gas station that's also like a shop, and you can get food there, and you can get souvenirs and all kinds of crazy stuff. But they wanted to go to one of those, so we took them to one of those. And then they kind of ran around and did a bunch of girl related stuff. You know, I was like, okay, I've got other things I got to do. So y'all have fun with that. And so I let them
Right.
do that. And then on St. Patrick's Day in the evening, we hosted it was kind of a St. Patrick's Day party, but really it was just the game night that we have a rotation going around. It was our turn to
Nice.
host.
Oh,
So we
cool.
had it on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, so all of our friends came over, and a couple of our friends brought their little girls, so they played with our nieces, and we had like a little scavenger hunt for them, and they got to do a couple of other different things and play some games on their own. And then I got to use this opportunity since this is the first time we've hosted in forever and the first time we've hosted at the new house. Some people hadn't seen it yet, so finally we got to show them the house and they got to take a little tour there. But I also got to play finally like a VR party game, which I had never really done before because there's never been that many people here to where it really makes much sense. I had downloaded, I kind of chatted with Ed a little bit because I know he had mentioned it before, but I wanted to get a little more details on it. But I picked up Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the way that works, its game's actually been out a while, but for those who don't know, the way that it works is the person inside the VR helmet or the hat, excuse me.
You're welcome.
Yeah, what in the heck?
They can see the bomb and they can move it around. They can see there's all these different modules depending on which level of difficulty you're doing, and you can twist it around and look at the bottom, top, and all these other different areas. And everybody outside of the VR hat, all they have are instructions, and there's instructions on the screen that you can flip through with the controller. But the better way to do it is to print out like the instructions, like a manual.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would print it out about 3 or 4 of those so that we could distribute amongst everybody and they could kind of be flipping around, because basically the person inside the VR hat, they're just describing what they see. And the other people have to flip through the manual to find out like, okay, this is how we like get through this part of the puzzle. So
cool.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I think it only exploded on us maybe 2 times out of 7 or 8 times playing. We were definitely not on the hardest difficulty, because one thing that you had to do is like, not everybody's a gamer that came over to play. So them not being, you gotta have, when you have the helmet on or the hat, excuse me, I keep screwing this up. I can't believe it. You can't see the controller. So if a person's not familiar with like a PlayStation controller, they're not going to know what's square, what's triangle. Circle. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we would do like a little practice round to kind of get them familiar. One thing that was really cool is that inside the hat on the wall to the right, there's posters that tell you again, so you can glance real quick and they tell you the controls, kind of give you a little quick over of the controls. But again, if you kind of know from the direction of where it shows to go, but if you don't know what triangle is, you could easily hit the wrong button or whatever.
Yeah.
So a couple of them I chalk up to just not being familiar with the stuff, but a few people, I think at least 3 of them, it was their first time ever doing VR, and they were all they're pretty impressed with it. Nobody had the, this is pretty cool kind of reaction. Actually, one of my friends kind of freaked out a little bit. He was like, oh my gosh. He's like, this is the future. The future is now. And like all right, man, I'm glad you're having fun.
Just started speaking in tongues. It got really weird.
Love that.
I know, exactly. So that was a lot of fun. Then after that, we played a few more games. Definitely played Secret Hitler, which was awesome because this time we had 10 people. So this is the first time I've used the second board or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got to use that board and have a couple of different rules. Of course, first game, I get Hitler. I'm like, oh, geez. So obviously everybody's already thinking it's me because
you have that face.
I'm always getting it. Exactly. I'm always getting it on the last times that we played. But I was still able to make it out and win, and so I was. They nailed me down as a fascist, but I guess they didn't. There was a little bit. I was able to play just a little seed of doubt at the end, just enough to get Chancellor, and then I could win the game.
Nice.
And then the rest of the time, it was a lot of fun. We played this other game that it was a brand new one that one of the people had brought us called Chameleon. I think it was the name of it. Basically, and I discovered later on, because we also played a little bit of Jackbox, but on Jackbox Party Pack 3, there's this game called The Faker. It's basically all these people are doing a thing and one person isn't really on the same page. They just have to fake it and try to blend in. Well, that's kind of how Chameleon works, is like you get a card and it says that you're the chameleon, and then everybody's looking at this thing and you have to just act like, oh yeah, I'm on board. I know what the thing is. And people have to figure out who the person who doesn't really know what they're talking about is. And so they're kind of similar to that. It was a lot of fun. And I think that was the only other one that we played. We spent most of the time with VR and then like showing people the house and just kind of hanging out and playing with the kids a little bit. So we didn't play a lot of board games. I think it was only Chameleon and Secret Hitler, but it was a lot of fun. I was really glad that we finally got to host at the new house and have some people over. And that was the first time, again, like I said, we had a larger group. So it was really cool.
That's great, man.
Outside of that, on Sunday, we went and took the girls. There's like this animal reserve kind of thing up in northern Texas where you can go and you can like drive around and like you can do, they have a petting zoo, or then you drive around this little area and you feed like camels and whatever else they got there, and zebras and horses and all this kind of stuff. So we got to do that. That was a lot of fun. And then Stacy's been off on Monday and Tuesday running around with the girls. They went down to Waco yesterday and they got to see like the Magnolia and go to the table and everything like that, which they had never done before. My mother-in-law surprised them and met them there. And so that was a lot of fun for them. at work, it's been crazy because this week we're shooting 4 out of 5 days.
Oh.
So I've been, just getting everything. Yesterday I was shooting. Today I'm off. I'm back in the office, I should say, preparing a few more things. And then we'll be back on location tomorrow and Friday to finish the week out. And then outside of that, one thing that I did want to say, when we were at the animal reserve, we went to this area and they had like black bears there. And one of the things they were doing is they have this map or this like list of things they're doing. Like every 30 minutes they're doing something. We're like, we're over at the chimpanzees and we're going to tell you about chimpanzees and have them do tricks, or now we're going to be at the bears, or now we're going to be here, whatever. And they kept getting the bears' attention by feeding these little, look like little dog treats at first, but they also were giving them peanuts. And I just want to say, even the black bears crack open those shells and only eat the peanut and don't eat. Like they would put it in their mouth. Really? Like, that bear's gonna eat that peanut. They would crack it, spit it out, and then only eat the peanut.
That's hilarious.
So we can say that Ed doesn't even eat peanuts like an animal. Animals don't even eat peanuts like that.
He's not even smarter than your average bear, if you would say.
I'm at a higher level.
I'm all the way up.
Yeah, all the way.
Okay, you believe what you want, mister.
That is awesome.
Mister.
On the gaming front, all I really have is we did, like I said, the VR gaming, and then we did a bunch of Jackbox with the girls and at the
nice
St. Patrick's Day party that I had, and then got to jump in and do a little bit of Overwatch. I did jump in last night and play a little bit of Brigitte, I think is how you say her name officially. Brigitte? I don't know.
Brigitte?
I always want to say Bridget, but there's no D there, so
right.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say Bridget for now because that's probably how I'm gonna say it later. I actually really like her. I think she's pretty cool. I did think she was maybe a little strong, but I was playing in the mode where it would be like no limits. So like everybody's playing the same character.
Right,
everybody's playing the new one. Whenever I jumped into quick play or if we did random where I would just get her and there were other characters in there, I found that I could still get taken down pretty easily. It all kind of depends because she has this stun. So she has a shield kind of like Reinhardt for those who play Overwatch and know who he is, but it's smaller. And what she can do is she can do this dash. And if she hits somebody, it stuns them. And you can stun somebody and then whack them like 2 or 3 times and you can kill them, especially if they're like one of the weaker characters.
Yeah.
If they're a tank, you're probably not going to get away with killing them, especially if they're at full health. But if you land that stun, that's what makes it devastating because then you can just whack them before they can get out of the stun and then they're down. If I had to guess, they're probably going to like weaken the stun just a little bit, maybe the duration of it a little bit, or maybe the cooldown or something.
I was about to say, how long is it compared to Mei's freeze?
I would say that it doesn't even last as long as Mei's freeze, honestly.
Oh, it doesn't last as long.
But the fact that you dash at him, hit him, and then you're right there and you could just start swinging because you don't have to aim it. She just swings in a radius.
Oh, so like Reinhardt.
It's kind of like, know, like with Mei's freeze, you pretty much know, I'm going to get headshotted with an icicle. Right. And then with Brigitte, it's like, as soon as she stuns you, it's like, I'm about to go down.
Yeah, because Mei's, after she does the freeze, if she's going to use the icicle anyways, you have to aim it.
That's right.
I think that's why it maybe takes a little bit, they give you a little bit more time. But because
that's if you're not empty.
Yeah. But yeah, with Brigitte, because she's just swinging in an area, you don't really have to aim it. As long as they're in the vicinity, you're probably going to hit them. Right. So I think that may be why the stun lasts probably about as long as McCree's stun when he flashbang.
Oh yeah.
So, but the fact that you hit them and then you put the shield away and then you start swiping at them. But I think that what they'll probably do, I doubt they'll reduce the duration of the stun. I bet what they'll end up doing is just reduce the cooldown to where you can't do the stun as often because it recharges. All of her abilities really recharge pretty quickly, faster than I was expecting. So I'm sure there's going to be changes coming in because they're always tweaking and balancing different things and whatnot. But I've had a lot of fun playing with her so far, and I'm looking forward to play some more and get a little bit more used to all of her stuff. That's one thing that I've noticed too is it seems like each time they bring out a character, it seems like they're getting more and more things they can do. And you go back to the old one, it's like, just 2 abilities. Yeah. So we'll just have to see how it goes forward. But I had a lot of fun.
Good.
And that's it for my week so far.
Nice.
Mr. Patillo, the tour is over, sir.
It is finished. And
hallelujah.
Yeah, it's really bittersweet. Somebody was asking me the other day, they're like, "Oh man, are you so glad to be home?" And like, sure, of course I am. But like, also, this is what I do. And and it's what I've done for so long that I feel weirder not being on the road than I do on the road.
Right.
My whole marriage, our whole dating life, any parenting I've ever done has always been on the road. So I'm just very used to going in and out, and I feel like I was just getting into the swing of things on this tour because
And
you
then
guys
see ya.
right, and you guys remember like the tour started off with us going out to the West, and so I'd be out for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and then come home, then go back out, and then finally it was like the regular out for 4 days, in for 3, out for 4 days, and I felt like we never gotten that vibe. Like, you know, with my family and like Jenny being used to that. So it feels like right when we got used to like, okay, daddy's gone for 4 days and then I'm home. Then gone for 4 days, then I'm home. That we finally locked into that and then the tour was over. I was like, ah. So that's a little weird just because I was really proud of this tour and the hang backstage was just something that we've never had in any of
nice.
Other
That's
tours.
awesome.
We've always got along with everybody and everybody's always loved each other. We've always had fun. But this one was like, it just felt like not a lot of cliques. Cliques is the wrong word, but like there was just a lot of groups hanging out and really having a good time with each other. And
Yeah.
so,
That's great, man.
What was different? Was it just the people that were there?
Yeah, I think it was the people. I think it was that everybody had bands that had a lot of people in it. And so it just gave opportunity to have a lot of different interests and people being able to hang out. Tarian, the new girl that sings with us, I think she was a big part of it just because she had girls finally, where Nerva, the girl that originally sang with us, like for the first 10 or 12 years, she was always on tours that never had girls on it. And so Mandisa had a bunch of girls on her team. And so they all hung out. And so it was just like awesome watching them do their thing. And so, I don't know, it was just really special. Something was special about it. So
That's great.
yeah. The tour's over. But before the tour's over, I was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Got to hang out with Dopalicious, Mr. Mike, Splig. So that was a really good time. We went and got some ramen, which was
Yum.
delicious.
That's yummin'.
Oh,
And it only
my
costs
gosh.
12 cents.
Exactly. I
Right.
was like, I could have heated this up myself. I don't know what the problem is.
Love ramen.
Exactly. Me too. And so that was a good time. And all the families came down to Birmingham. We did a show in Birmingham on Saturday. And so it was like Kids Central. And so it was really cool to see everybody's wives make the drive down and bring the little ones. And so Jenny and them got to see the show, and Amara and Remy, and people were sending me videos. Remy just danced the whole show. And so that was
awesome.
That's
really
That's
cool.
cool.
And then we ended it off in Pensacola, Florida, and then came home on Monday. And so it's been a good time trying to get my sleep pattern back down.
I bet, man.
I always struggle coming off of tours or coming off the road to sleep at home because you've gotten so used to over the last almost 2 months of sleeping in a moving bed with the engine roaring and the wind blowing,
Rocking you to sleep.
Yeah, rocking you to sleep, and then you come home and it's still and it's quiet and you're just staring at the ceiling. And so
Yeah.
the first day I think I didn't fall asleep Monday night until 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, man.
Just because my body was like, this is not how we sleep. No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I need to wake Jenny up like, hey, could you just push the bed as I go to sleep?
Just keep rocking the bed a little bit,
and
please.
growl. So that's one of the more weird things about coming off the road is unexpected consequences.
Makes sense, though, man. I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense to me. Your body's just not used to it, and then all of a sudden, you're still and quiet, and you're like,
Exactly.
you're like counting the minutes.
Yeah, and I hate this.
Aw.
We're trying to get into the swing of that. I'm getting to go full in on this shed now that I'm
Nice.
home. So I bought all the insulation yesterday for the walls and the ceiling, and so I'm
Are
going
you
to be doing
doing
that
like
today.
insulation or like the foam stuff? I don't know if one's better than the other.
I'm doing insulation.
Yeah, staple that stuff in there.
Yeah, the foam is fine, but it's really expensive if you did
Oh, okay.
foam. Like the stuff. Are you talking about the stuff you spray and it expands?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that stuff's
Honestly,
really
I only
expensive.
even know that's a thing because of Fixer Upper. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like I'm in there like, oh yeah, what kind of insulation? Oh, really?
That's funny.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chip and JoJo.
Exactly.
I would have thought it would have been cheaper, but I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah. The
No, old school's cheaper.
yeah. Well, there's fiberglass which is real old school, and that stuff's real cheap. But it doesn't do great with sound
and
dampening.
There's asbestos like routers days.
Exactly.
Exactly. They don't let you do that anymore.
Right.
And so I'm using stuff called rock wool. And so it's supposed to be just really good for sound bleeding from outside or from inside.
Oh, cool. Nice.
And so, and it makes it really easy. Anyway, it's nobody cares, but like it's
fascinating.
You
I
can
love
actually compress it a little bit and put it between the joists, so you don't have to, like Router was just saying, staple it. You don't have to do that.
Staple it?
Yeah, it just
nice.
kind of fits right in there, and you can cut it with like a serrated bread knife. And so it just makes it real easy to work with. Now it's still itchy, so you still got to like cover up and put gloves on and all that. But so my little brother-in-law, I say little because I've known him since he was little, but Jenny's half brother is coming up today. He texted me last night out of nowhere. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I was like, "Chilling." You? And he was like, "You need help with the shed?" And I was like, "Sure,
sure,
yeah, come on up."
Nice.
So he's gonna come up. We've never like hung out, just me and him. And so it'll be cool.
Oh, cool,
He's,
man.
I think 17 years old. So he's going to come up and help out today. And so I'm looking forward to that. It'll be cool just to be in there and have another set of hands. And that'll be good. Yeah. He's tall. So I'll be like, oh, just hold that up there. And that light bulb.
Be helpful.
Yeah. So that'll be good. Because I'm the opposite of tall. And so yeah, man, on the gaming front, man, it feels like it's been a lot of different things. Didn't get to finish up Resident Evil, of course, because last weekend was just so busy, and
I'm sure you're heartbroken about that.
I am kind of heartbroken. Like we had kind of formed a little clique, like the 3 or 4 of us that were there for every time we played it. We're kind of like, dang it, we wanted to finish that game, but
now Gabe will have to do it on his own.
Yeah, that's not happening. I purposefully started the game on the bus's username, so I don't even have the save file. So I couldn't play it even if I wanted.
Sneaky, sis.
Exactly. And so didn't get to do that, but I did get into Fortnite this last weekend.
Hey, look at you. All right, Drizzy, what do you got?
I know. Toby's second youngest, Leo, came on the road with us this last weekend, and he's obviously huge into Fortnite. I think he's 13, and I was like, all right, I've never played it. I've like dropped in twice and had no idea what I was doing. Give me the thing. He's got like 52 wins under his belt.
Nice.
Wow.
And so I was like, show me how to play. And so the first day I just spent watching him, and he talked me through everything. And then I started doing it, and it really is fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's kind of like what Chris was saying the other day, like just the polish when you compare it to PUBG or even H1 in a way, like the polish is just there. So it makes it funner. The controls are pretty easy once you get them under your, there's a lot to do, but once you kind of get them under your fingers, it's not as daunting as it looks with the building and everything.
But is the building part like lame? Do you like it?
I haven't gotten into it enough to say whether it's lame or not. What's interesting about it is trying to retrain my brain from, hey, you're getting shot, turn around and shoot, to, hey, you're getting shot, turn around, build a wall, strafe, then shoot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because what I didn't realize was right when you hit build, even though there's an animation of the wall being built, the wall in the game is there already. So I could say build stairs, and right when I hit the button, you can run on the stairs, even though the animation is showing it's still being built.
Right.
So you turn around and just hit build a wall, and the wall starts taking the bullet damage, and then you take your gun back out, strafe to either way, and start shooting, or take off running.
Gotcha.
So it does definitely add a kink into things, and I kind of feel like an old man. Like I don't, my brain doesn't work like that. My brain works with find cover, turn around, start shooting. When you're out in a field, there is no cover, and so yeah, it's kind of cool. It's fun. They've done a good job with that game, and so it was fun diving into it. Obviously, I feel extremely late to the party, but it was fun to play it a little bit. I played it a couple times when I got home and stuff like that.
I have it downloaded. I just have not had any option to get into it yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder if you definitely can play the game without building, but it makes it to where you're almost playing with a handicap if you don't.
Yeah, I'm sure like as you start to play against people who are good at it, you're going to quickly find out that, this isn't going to work.
That's right. Yeah. So you're definitely at a disadvantage if you don't know how to build well. So, but it's been fun. Got home and plugged in the PS4, and some of the guys from the road were like, Call of Duty. And so last night we kind of got on, and it was just like, felt like, hey, we're still on tour together, and played some Call of Duty last night. So that was a really good time. And I think that's pretty much it. I haven't dove back into, I need to dive back into Batman Telltale and finish that up. I never got around to being able to play Quantum Break or any of that stuff. So I don't know what's next. Probably Far Cry and some of these games that are coming out. And I think that's pretty much it for me, man. I got to be on a podcast last night called Dad Tired, which was really Dad Tired, yeah, which was really interesting. I think it's going to come out in a couple weeks, so I'll throw a link around when that happens. But that was really cool to sit and talk to. The guy's name's Jared that hosts it, and so it was good to sit around and talk to him about gaming and being a dad and the road, and it's a Christian podcast, so it was from that side of things, and so it was really cool to sit and talk to him about it. So.
Nice.
I think that is it. I'm definitely forgetting something, but it's okay. It'll come to me later.
One thing I forgot was in the middle of the week last week, I got a text from Stancil that was a screenshot of the day's Overwatch game schedule. And he said, my day today. And I responded and said, are you in LA and are you at the Overwatch games? And doggone it, freaking Stancil was. We had so much fun. He and Chris and I were just texting the entire game.
I didn't realize he was in LA. I thought it was happening in Seattle for some strange reason.
Yeah, he had gone down to work on stuff for his game that he's working on there. And he's friends with Seagull from the Dallas Fuel. He got to see the Fuel play. And
that's dope.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that was another episode jealous. Of freaking Stancil.
Ed and I have just talked so much about wanting to go out there and just hang out and see a couple of live shows and just see the arena and everything. He's all like, hey, guess where I'm, guys?
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on.
He's all leaving before it's over. You guys are like, no, what are you doing?
And it's back in full swing now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, stage 2 is about to be over.
Yeah, this is the last week.
Are they doing any playoff of March Madness with it?
They'll do at the end of each stage, they do a playoff.
Yeah. So that one's in, I think, like 2 weeks. Then they have, I think it's only 1 week off before stage 3 starts. And there's 4 stages. Oh, sorry.
That's
total.
Not what I meant. I just didn't know if they were doing any mix with using March Madness since it's March Madness is going on. And, yeah. Sorry.
No, sports. Know. It's a whole nother ball wax with this crew.
So sorry.
How dare you?
It's like, there's always a playoff.
Yeah,
like,
there's always a playoff. What are you talking about?
Never mind. Yeah.
Nothing specifically for March Madness. Though,
I got you. Okay. Oh, man. Well, Router, you got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's do it.
All right, let's work on some new releases here, shall we? We're going to start with the Xbox One and PC. Sea of Thieves is out now this week.
Oh, Ed, you said you were going to download that. Did you download it?
I downloaded it last night right before we went to bed. Someone had asked me, Ian Drake asked if I was going to get it, and I was like, oh, Far Cry is coming out. A Way Out's coming out. I probably won't. And then last night before I went to bed, I was like, oh, wait, it's free with Game Pass. I might as well download it.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it should be downloaded now.
I really want to play that game.
So do I.
Shoot.
I mean, my original thought was, I'll get Game Pass whenever it drops, so I can get it and give it a try. And I do think I'm going to give it a shot. But like you were saying, there's so many other things out at the moment. And I haven't even had time to play the things I have, like he was saying, A Way Out. I'm thinking about jumping into Far Cry 5. I wasn't planning to, but it's kind of interesting to me.
You weren't going to jump into Far Cry 5?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
Gotcha.
So it depends. If I end up getting
no.
If I end up getting that God of War collector's edition, then the answer is no. 'Cause
No, that's
Hey.
right. Yeah, that's around
There
the
you
corner
go.
too. Oh, and can we just talk about for just a split second just
Absolutely.
that freaking Avengers trailer that came out a couple days ago?
Man.
Lord have mercy. Why did I have like all the things going on? I was like,
Right?
oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I definitely, that is
Yes,
a must.
and yes, and yes.
all
Doesn't
of the
it
yeses.
come out like the 27th or something?
Yes. And
Is
I'm
it this
busy
month?
that day and I'll
April.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Oh,
I can't wait for that.
It's almost kind of overwhelming how much is in there. You're like,
Yes.
okay,
It's like
what's
Ready
that?
Player
Oh.
One. Like I feel like when I'm watching the trailer for Ready Player
It
One,
is,
you're like,
yeah.
oh, there's that. And this is it's very similar.
Right.
I mean, it is insane how much like that caught fire. That trailer caught fire like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I am all about it because for
too.
on the Marvel
Yeah, you are.
stuff, like I haven't seen all of the movies. There's a few I haven't seen. Like I never
Yeah,
saw
me
Iron Man
neither.
3, and there's a couple. I never saw Thor 2, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But I've had fun with the Marvel movies. But my favorites are always like the Avengers 1, Age of Ultron, Civil War,
Yep.
and now this.
Yep,
Like those are the
Civil
ones
War,
that I
yep.
get hyped for. And like I really enjoyed Black Panther, and I was looking forward to it. But even that one, I'm like, I'm sorry, the one where all the people are doing all the things. That's what I
I
like
know.
to see.
Yeah.
And so it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I think I messaged you guys in either Discord or Hangout or something.
It
and I
was
was
a
like,
hangout, yeah.
every single one of these trailers that has come out, I think there's been 2 that have come out. I was like, I've gotten a chills moment in every one.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
It's
they're all very
ridiculous.
different.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm gonna need this movie to be 4 hours long to
Yeah,
like
it just needs to be a marathon. It just
Yeah.
needs to be a marathon.
And-
And I may take Piper to this too because I mean, we watched Civil War together. We watched Avengers. We've watched Spider-Man: Homecoming, and I don't know. She might like it. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yes. All right, sorry.
All right, no problem. So Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition for the PS4 and Vita. Attack on Titan 2 for the PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. As Eduardo said, South Park: The Fractured Butthole from Dusk Till Casa Bonita for the PS4, Xbox One, PC. Tekken 7 Noctis Lucis Calum for the PS4, Xbox One, PC. Titan Quest for the Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered for the Xbox One,
That's
PS4.
right.
That is the one Assassin's Creed game I never played, and I think I want to try and play this one.
I'm
Really?
toying buying it as well.
I've
really
heard good
interested
things
in it.
about it. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
good things about it. It's a nice twist to actually being a Templar versus an assassin. So that sounds really cool to me. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 Cloak and Dagger for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Gekido Kintaro's Revenge for the Nintendo Switch. There you go, Gabe. A
Yeah,
Way
thanks.
Out for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And MX versus ATV All Out for the Xbox One and PS4. Ladies and gentlemen, we have MPD for February. Sorry, that was my Oprah. MPD for February. This is US only. Year to date, 2018 spending across video game hardware, software, and accessories is up 39% when compared to last year.
There we go.
Growth has occurred across all categories, with hardware being the primary sales performance driver. So, hardware, $316 million, up 55% from $204
Holy
million
goodness.
last year. PC and console software games, $397 million, flat from $397 million last year.
There you go.
Accessories, $282 million, up 35% from $210 million. Let's hit it. Top 10 games for February. Number 10, Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, really?
Number 9, Mario Kart 8.
What?
There you
Deluxe. Yep. Number 8, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Okay.
Number 7, UFC 3.
Huh.
No,
I have never been interested in playing any of those games for some strange reason.
I'm right
I
there
haven't
with you.
either.
Ever. Yes. 6, Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, good.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
5, GTA freaking 5. Of
Lord
course.
have mercy.
Of course. Seriously. 4, Dragon Ball Fighters with a Z.
That's right.
3, NBA 2K18.
Mm.
2, Call of Duty World War II, which means number 1. You ready for this one? Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
sure,
After
sure.
leading
That
the market in
game's taking
January.
a lot of people by storm.
Monster Hunter World repeated as the month's top-selling title overall, once again leading on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One platforms. Monster Hunter is currently 2018's best-selling game.
Wow.
For hardware, since the launch of the Switch and the Xbox One X, Nintendo and Microsoft are now gaining ground on the PlayStation 4, so growth is up.
There we go.
Hardware spending in February grew 55% when compared to a year ago. Gains were driven by growth in Switch and Xbox One hardware sales. Xbox One and hardware sales.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Speak amongst yourselves.
Exactly. I'll give you a topic to discuss. The progressive revolution, which neither progressive nor revolution. Discuss. Anyway, Nintendo Switch remains on a record-setting sales pace. Over the first 12 months, the Switch has achieved the highest installed base for a console platform in history.
Whoa.
There you go. Look at that.
Still not getting one. Sony, PlayStation 4, still the best-selling console in February, though, and still remains the best-selling console year to date. However, it has some competition coming up. So there you go. So Microsoft and Nintendo are gaining ground on the PlayStation.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. Everything's up. That's perfect. That's what I want to see. And that's kudos to Monster Hunter. That's amazing that they did a repeat from January and February. Well, it did also come out the end of January, so you're probably seeing spillover into February as well. So that's pretty incredible. No oops again, which is fantastic. And back to you,
Chris McCracken.
Well, I would be remiss if we didn't talk about the biggest thing in the world that seemed to have happened last week, and that was Ninja and Drake playing Fortnite on Twitch.
That's right.
Yes, it was.
So Ninja, I think, have we mentioned Ninja before?
I don't think so.
I think so.
I had him as a story one time. I was like, well, this is kind of interesting, but I don't know, and I don't think it's one that I talked about. But he's basically kind of blown up and kind of came out of nowhere. He's only been on Twitch. I don't even know that he's been on there a year yet, but he went from 90 to nothing. It has tons and tons of viewers. Now, it helps that he pretty much focuses on Fortnite, and he's really, really good at it.
Is he?
Really? Yeah, it's not one of those people that's like, oh, he's just fun and entertaining and likes to be goofy.
So he's day one, right?
I think they said right now he's making $500K a month.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's making even more now after this whole Drake thing, but he's known for being, I mean, obviously he's a good personality. You have to be when you're a streamer, but he's also actually really, really dominant at the game. Apparently.
Wow.
So somewhere along the way, Drake started following him on Instagram or something like that. And then somehow that led to them teaming up to play the game. And so Ninja's sitting there playing it, and then Drake joins in. They had a few issues at the beginning. So Ninja plays on PC and Drake was playing on PS4. So they just had to get the things linked up fine. And then they ended up doing the voice chat part via Discord. But it just got nuts. And I think when they started, before chat was actually working, or the chat between the two of them was actually working, he was at about 200,000 concurrent viewers. Then about 30 minutes later, it went to 400,000. And by the time that it finished, they reached over 600,000. And that smashed Twitch records.
That is an insane number. You guys understand that's a ginormous number.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Lil Uzi Vert and all these other guys started jumping in there. It wasn't just Drake at the end of the day, but it's
nope.
All these stars were in there and in the chat and talking, and he's texting with them, and it's just was Drake any good at? Does anybody know if he was?
Apparently, he was pretty decent. I didn't watch the thing. I was asleep. I woke up and I was like, apparently the biggest thing in the world happened last night, and I missed it.
I know, right?
Because the internet blew its mind.
Yes.
So yeah, like he was saying, rapper Travis Scott, I think that's whatever his actual rapper name is in there. Steelers wide receiver Juju Smith got in there. Kim.com jumped in for a little bit, which seems even more random. Which he's
all of it
the
felt
previous
random.
owner of Mega Upload. Yeah. So I mean, it went nuts.
I love it.
Yeah, it did.
I absolutely love it. I love that it just felt so random. You're like, you don't think that. I don't think of Drake as a closet gamer, and then he's in there playing freaking Fortnite with everybody. I thought it was awesome.
One thing that I saw, Jeff Keighley was one of the millions of people who was tweeting about this when it was happening. And one thing that he had mentioned was we need more celebrities like Drake coming out and just not necessarily doing things like this, but just saying hey, yeah, I play games to help. Because I mean,
gaming needs help, but I see what you're saying.
Well, but I mean, because still in the mainstream, like this is still, it's still weird and niche. Like Ninja was on, I think it was MSNBC this week, and they talked with him, and they're like, so tell us again, you play a video game, huh?
Oh Lord have
and
mercy.
that how do you and you're able to do this for a living? How it's like
Yeah.
it still like doesn't make any sense to people outside of gaming. Like outside of gaming seems like nothing, even though it's a multi-billion dollar industry. The mainstream still really doesn't focus in and really realize. And so he was just kind of tweeting it. He's
Not
like,
until
hey,
something bad happens. Then they're
we
like,
need-
video
exactly.
games.
Then everybody blames it. Like I still see on my Twitter, or excuse me, my Facebook timeline, like once a week it'll pop up some person that I know that doesn't know anything about gaming, and they'll be like, "Well, look, the World Health video game disease or video game is a mental thing," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta slap my head and be like, guys, I don't have time for this." And I
Was
just move
anybody
on.
else more impressed with the fact that he has the handle Ninja? I was like,
Yeah, that's
for
pretty
him feeling newer, I'm like, how did you have the handle Ninja? Like that seems like that would have been taken a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
And it's spelled like
Ninja.
ninja, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how it is on Twitch as well? It's not like Ninja underscore or something?
No, everything I thought was like at Ninja, at Ninja, at Ninja's playing with Drake. I was like, dang it,
Wow.
how do you
Oh
get
yeah,
Ninja?
on Twitter he definitely has that. Yeah,
That's what I'm just saying. Like that,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I don't know how long he's been on Twitter, but it seems like you would have had to been one of the first 3 people to be on
Yeah,
Twitter
right.
to get
Right,
Ninja
right.
as a handle.
Or if you're a really big streamer and got the money, you could buy it off somebody. Hey, I'll buy the handle from you.
Oh, that's true
There you
too.
go.
I don't know if that's what
very
he
true.
did, but that's possible. He could do that.
If he really wanted it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna sell MTTG Cast, but
Yeah, you were.
Nobody's buying.
that,
No one's no
that got
one's
sucked to
buying.
video games, and I was like, you're not gonna make this a name any. So Atari, we talked about this a while back about an Atari console coming, and then they kind of went dark.
Mhm.
But it looks like it's coming now, and they're calling it Atari VCS, which stands for Video Computer System, which feels wonderfully old school.
Okay,
Yeah, it does.
1980s. Let's do that.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. So obviously you'll be able to play Atari games, but I didn't realize this, but because it's Linux based and it's got the AMD processor and Radeon graphics, you actually will be able to play modern PC games on it as well. I don't know what
wow.
shop they're going to use and all that. But they did announce that in April they're going to start taking pre-orders. So people are excited about that because they went dark for so long. You kind of didn't know if it wasn't happening anymore or what was
right.
going on. And so they said they were going to be available for pre-orders last December. So when that didn't happen, people were like, oh man, what's going on with that? And so I don't know if it's something I'll be in the market for. I mean, it's like, it'd have to be, it's not going to be cheap, but like, I don't want to pay too much money to be playing Atari games.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, number one, I have an Atari. Number two, I can't plug it up to any television I have. And number 3, I wouldn't play it anyway, probably.
Exactly.
Like, I just like
Mhm.
that I have one kind of thing. Is for, the shelf. So, but it's, like we said, with the faux wood paneling, and it's, it real ergonomic looking and cool, but it's going to come with a joystick. I don't know if it's going to come with a joystick and the controller, but that's what's in the picture. So we'll just have to wait and see. But it'll be hilarious if you could play Fortnite on your Atari.
That is cool.
Chris McCracken?
So it looks like EA is going to be bringing microtransactions back to Star Wars Battlefront 2. However, it is now going to be tied to cosmetic stuff only rather than gameplay. So I feel like
They've heard the
man,
cries.
They've really hurt a lot from all this hoopla that they went through. And so they had a blog post and they said that these changes are going to begin rolling out on March 21st. And the biggest changes is players will no longer be able to spend real money on items that impact how the game is played, which is how it should have been from the beginning.
Right.
You won't be able to buy loot boxes or crates or ability boosting star cards anymore. Instead, you'll earn experience points and skill points for heroes and classes and ships only by playing the game, which again is how it should have been from the beginning. Why?
Right.
Why,
How all the other games are.
yeah, I mean, so
Yeah.
now this has actually kind of gotten me interested in like, oh, well, maybe I'll go back to Battlefront and see how it is now because it's like Battlefront 1, the one that I actually really enjoyed. So I may jump back in there at some point, but it's funny to me that I wish they would have just seen this before they ever started. It's like, I know everybody's like pushing the boundary, and then you dial it back once you find that where that line is. But man, I feel like this game is pretty much just dead now. I mean, I'm sure there's still people that are playing it, but it's like I feel like it could have gotten so much hype because they changed so many things that people complained about the first one. And it looks like they're finally getting it all set right. But man, it's a bummer that it took them this long. I think this game launched in October and it's March now. And they're just like, we got it right. Or so we say, you know?
Better late than never, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's just a bummer. Bums me out.
It is a bummer because I was so looking forward to that game. And I think because of the cloud that it kind of came with, it unexcited me for the game. So I was like, never mind. And I didn't even pick it up.
Yeah,
and that sucks. Really? I want to play I should go to Redbox just to play the story, but
I had started the story. I hadn't finished it though. So
I never did either
because it's canon, right? The story is canon now.
The story is canon in the series.
Yeah, I love that. Amazon is starting a thing called Game On, which I think is really dope, and it will let developers integrate competition into their games. And offer prizes that'll be fulfilled by Amazon. And I think that's really dope.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm going to read. This is very technical sounding from the Amazon website. Game On is a set of flexible APIs built on the AWS cloud infrastructure and works on any operating system, giving you the ability to scale quickly while allowing you to invest more time in what you do best, designing great games. With Game On, you have an easy tool to bring more players in on the action, allowing them to compete for real-world prizes fulfilled by Amazon and other in-game rewards. Drive engagement and increase monetization of your games by adding leaderboards, leagues, and multi-round competitions to your games, or strengthen your fan base by allowing players and streamers to create their own user-generated competitions. I really like this. I know Amazon already does, they do the giveaways, where you get the emails and they'll say what giveaways are going on. And, it's just a bunch of different stores that can do giveaways to try to increase their numbers and followers to the store. And so I love that they're making something that can be integrated on PC, mobile, console games, and a way for people to do prizes and stuff. So in the future, Married to the Games could have a Married to the Games competition. And I don't know how it'll all be built out, but we'll be able to do prizes and things given through Amazon. And I think that's really dope. And I think that'll be a really cool way to engage people's different communities, our family here and things like that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to do something like this. So I think it's really, Amazon, come on, right? They're the store that has everything. So I think it'll be.
And you can already, if you look at a lot of items at the bottom of it, it says, give this away. And
that's right.
You can have it be like, because of Twitter followers, they have to follow this tweet, they have to retweet or something. And so it's cool that they just keep on expanding how they're incorporating the whole giveaway system.
Yeah. So I would love to do this and get into it for our community, because I think it'd be really cool. And you can pick all kind of crazy stuff from Amazon. And like Ed was saying, there's already the give this away button there. So I think this could be really, really cool for gaming, really cool for community leaders and stuff like that. You could probably tie it in even with, if we were to want to tie it in with Extra Life or something like that. And things like that. And so I love that. And I'm freaking on cloud 9 still from going to Amazon back when I was in Seattle and just seeing the way they do things, seeing the way they get excited about things. They're going to be the ones that get to debut Toby's new music video for 48 hours. It's going to be
very cool.
Amazon only. And so it's really cool to see them put their money where their mouth is when it comes to engaging different fan bases across different genres of entertainment.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love this.
Well, and I think we're going to see a lot more about Amazon because if you've noticing, Toys R Us just went out of business. And I think a lot of that has to do with how convenient Amazon is and how they function and just make life easier for consumers to get things. It's just, I think we're starting to see that. And, to see Toys R Us go away after how many years is unbelievable. It's very bitter. It's very bittersweet, but so kudos to them. And they're not sitting back and just be like, we got this. They're constantly.
No, they're not waiting on anybody.
No, and they're being very, very innovative. So it's awesome.
Which,
Yes.
it's sad to hear about Toys R Us, but
Is.
am I the only one that's been like checking online? Like, okay, you got that Xbox One X for $200
No,
yet?
right.
Oh.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like,
You know what's weird? Every time I go into Toys R Us, I've felt like this for probably 3 years. Like, they need to restructure this place. Like, Toys R Us's are way too big. Like,
Yeah.
just the stores in themselves, at least the ones around here, they're like Walmart big. And you're like, how do they sustain? Not really, but they're just like, but it might
They
be
are
as
huge.
it might be as big as the Target though. Like, they're just really big stores, and you're like, there's no way they're selling enough toys nowadays, especially with online buying, to sustain this kind of footprint.
And the last thing I read was that Amazon is actually interested in buying out Toys R Us for the locations.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because they're in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they were to buy out Mattress Firm.
Right.
Golly.
yeah, it's crazy.
What else you got, Christopher?
So we had mentioned a couple weeks back about how Paragon, which was the MOBA that was on PlayStation 4 and PC that Epic had put out, it was like a first-person MOBA that it was going to be shutting down, and it is going to be shutting down on April 26th. But Epic Games has announced that they're going to go ahead and make the game's characters and the environment assets, so that's 20 characters and up to 1,500 pieces of environment for free to anyone to download who's using their own Unreal 4 engine project.
Oh, cool.
Oh, very cool.
And they have estimated that this is basically it's worth about $12 million worth of assets that they're just kind of dumping out there for free for anybody to do. So I don't know exactly all the specifics about it. I'm assuming as long as you use Unreal Engine and you can build things, and I think if you put it out for free to play, I don't think it costs you anything. I think it's only if you're going to charge for something that then you have to pay the license fee for Unreal Engine. I'm not 100% on that. So it could be one of those things where people who are on there building with Unreal Engine, they just keep the game alive and like get a private server and just continue going and let people play the game for free. And maybe that's how Paragon can live on. Or I don't know if it's a thing where like if they actually get to that place, then they're going to have to start paying somebody or paying a license fee, or I don't know exactly how all that works. But the fact that they just put all the stuff out there like, hey, because I always think this is cool that whenever a game, if it's going to die anyways, it's like, why not let it live on with people who know kind of what they're doing and what to do with it? I mean, we know on the PC side, the mod community is crazy. So there's obviously people out there who making games is not their job, but if you've got assets for them, they can still continue to make cool stuff. So it's always cool whenever this kind of thing happens. And so I was really excited to see that there's a possibility in some way that Paragon can live on for all those people that are just heartbroken over the fact that the game's going away. And Epic's like, nah, we're just going to pay attention to this Fortnite stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
So good on them.
Yeah, there you go. Edward, this one's for you. You've probably saw this already, but because I don't know, I'm not understanding if this is a leak or not, but some toy packaging has confirmed that Lego The Incredibles game is in development.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I think that's very cool. It's called The Incredibles, even though in the picture, the dad is holding the baby, and I think the baby's not until the second Incredibles, which is coming out soon. And so, and I didn't know this
Baby
too.
was in the tail end of
he's
at the end of the first one.
He was being babysat the entire movie while they were gone.
Right.
That's right. Okay. And then I didn't realize that this is the first Pixar movie to be Lego. And so that's kind of cool. Gotta love that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either.
Interesting.
Because they cover so much,
Yeah.
the Lego games. So I was like, oh, it's the first Pixar one. It's kind of cool. So
Did they have the Pixar with the Disney Infinity?
Yeah, so Disney was doing their own thing before, and ever since they kind of shuttered their game studio stuff, they're just partnering with
They took
others
over.
now. So yeah, so I mean, this feels like it makes perfect sense because
it really does.
they would fit in with them because, like you said, they've done it with so many other properties.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you're going to hand it off to somebody that does it right, there you go.
Yeah, exactly right. And
Lego
Lego
does it
does it
right.
right. Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
They really do.
So according to the picture, the game will be coming to PS4, PC, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. So that's perfect.
Nice.
Very cool.
Perfect. Yeah. Chris, what else you got?
So just like we know for pretty much every game, at least this generation, there are things like first day patches or day one patches. And Sea of Thieves is one of those games that had a day one patch.
Of
And
course.
everybody knew that it was going to be coming because, again, it's just the norm these days. But one of the fans or people that was looking forward to the game on Reddit, his name is, I think you're going to say Jeffabell. It's Jefaball. He said, Rare. He said, Dear Rare, don't miss the opportunity to release a day one patch, eye patch on the game with the day one patch.
There's no eye patches?
There's eye patches, but they wanted one specifically that's like a day one patch eye patch that somehow ties into that.
That's confusing.
And so Rare decided to go ahead and do that. So you can go inside the general clothing shop and there's a day one patch. It's just an eye patch that goes on. It's black and it has a red number 1 on it. And if you look at the item description, it says a message from a bottle from Jolly Jeffabell washed ashore. Eye patch makers say it's ready to say aye. So I thought that was totally awesome.
Cool.
It's so
really
cool whenever
cool.
game makers, and I know like Overwatch has done this before, although for other reasons and stuff, whenever they kind of like immortalize somebody or a fan of theirs in their game in some way, or a little nod to something that they've requested. I think that's so cool. This right here made me think like,
cool.
man, it kind of bummed me out that I don't have the game day one, because I don't know. I'm assuming this is going to be only part of the day one patch stuff. Kind of like when they did the Xbox when they had the launch edition and things like that. It's like you got to get in early to get these things.
I'm sure they'll keep it around for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be there for a little while, and it may not even be. There's probably going to be way better looking eye patches in the game. I mean, that's the way it is on a game where cosmetics are a big draw to keep you continuing to go over and over. But I thought that was super cool. I
like when developers listen.
Yeah.
You know, when they're listening and they've got their finger on the pulse of their fans, that makes me love them even more.
Fan service goes a long, long way.
Absolutely.
Especially with gamers. Like, it just goes a long way. You're not going to go wrong if you do some fan service stuff.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Just a quick note. This is the last thing I have. Mortal Kombat is coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
In April. So,
oh, yeah.
If you
I
feel
saw
like
that way back in the day.
Yeah, if you feel like going back and watching a movie that's probably not good, but you remember it being good, but it's probably because of your age.
But it's probably because of your age, and you're like, why am I watching this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can check out Mortal Kombat on Netflix.
That's awesome.
I remember my dad took me to see Mortal Kombat, and I remember we were watching it, and the lady that's playing Katana at some point goes, follow me. And he goes, anywhere. And I was like, ew.
Ew.
I'm sitting right here.
Dad, why'd you take me to this?
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
You have anything else, Chris?
The only other thing that I have is that PUBG has officially launched on mobile. We know that Fortnite had launched on mobile not too long ago, but the only thing is that Fortnite is still, as I understand it, you have to
Fortnite
go and
launched on mobile? Is it?
Yeah, but
out
you have to go and you have to sign up like through their website. You can download the game, but you can't actually log in until you get like a beta pass or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, so you still have to do that. But PUBG is out on Android and iOS, and it's like you can actually play it right now. It's just open to the public.
That's right.
And I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet, but apparently it's a really good port for mobile, which kind of really irritates me because my last experience on Xbox One was such garbage.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, is it going to play better on my iPhone than it does on my Xbox One? That's going to kind of bum me out if it does. But I did download it, so I'm going to definitely give it a try. I don't have like a controller that you can pair with iOS. So I'm going to be just playing it through all the swipey whoos and whatnot. So I can't imagine that's going to be a great experience, but we'll see. So if you want to get chicken dinner while you're getting rid of your other chicken dinner on the toilet, go for it, man.
Yowzers. I watched some kids play Fortnite on mobile this last weekend.
Oh,
and yeah, they seem to really enjoy it. And they say it played good. They say it's easy right now because everybody sucks. Playing it on mobile. And then same thing with PUBG. People are getting that chicken dinner really easy, and they are saying that it's because it's full of bots, and the bots are not very hard. And so as they're rolling it out and as people are getting it, they're having to use bots in places of actual humans.
Well, yeah, because you think
right
that,
now.
like, even the first person that downloads it, they're saying, like, oh, play against 100 people. So they're probably just like, oh, we got to fill this with 100 people. In quotes.
Exactly.
People.
Exactly. So they said don't get too worked up about your chicken dinner because you might not have been playing for real.
Or get worked up and go get it while you can. So
Yeah, exactly.
I got
Go
it.
take that-
See,
go
don't look
take
at the
that
date.
screenshot.
Don't look at that date. Just look at I got it.
He said, don't look at the date, and Chris, don't look at my battery life.
Oh, no.
I'm taking the screenshot of winning. Nice. Is that it, brother?
That's it for me.
Eduardo,
Yes, sir.
what you got for us?
Over on the Married to the Games YouTube channel, we've got some more Assassin's Creed Curse of the Pharaohs. Parts 5 through 12 are up there. You can check that out. Almost rage quit that mess.
Did you? Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, there is a boss fight in there I did not expect.
Uh-oh.
And it was tough.
Was it?
It almost, after I beat it, I was there. It was kind of like a tomb I was in, and I was like, there are 3 more tombs that I'm probably going to have to go into and do the same thing. So a little hesitant to jump back in, but
get in there, man. Get in there. You got it.
Go in there and check that out. Looking at our top 10 YouTube videos, combining the average watch time and views for the week of March 13th through the 19th. Number 10, Hue Part 9, Mountains. Number 9, Watch Dogs 2, Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 8, Hue Part 4, Pink. Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest, Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp. Number 6, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Hey,
coming
what
soon,
is going on with
2018,
that?
everybody. You gotta believe.
Gosh, I gotta believe. Like Parappa the Rapper.
You gotta believe. Number 5, Watch Dogs 2, Part 48, Ghost Signals. Number 4, Drawful 2, Gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Chris's nieces. I gotta figure that's what that was.
Yeah.
Number 3, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job. Number 2, Hue Part 10, University. Number 1, Hue Part 11, The Ending.
Sounds about right.
Right? Everyone is where they should be.
Yep.
Nice. I like it. I like it. Thanks, Eduardo.
You're welcome.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different, except that it was a hypothetical, but still a question.
Yeah.
There's a tournament in your town. The winner gets $5,000. What game would it have to be for you to win that $5,000? Over on Discordia, we've got Fluxel. He said, if we're going back in time when I had the reaction time and skills, I'm going with either the original SSX or Wipeout XL on PlayStation 1.
Oh.
Nice.
Wow. I
like that. Nova Beyond, what game you say? Does Home Run Derby count? Believe it or not, I got that I've got that lefty Griffin Jr. type swing where my unassuming slender appearance could give others a run for their money. A few years ago, I hit a bomb over the right field fence at Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati against a Reds batting practice pitcher. Wow. That's not easy to do.
Yeah.
No.
Jared Orr, J-Orr1313, it would be Overwatch, of course, just as long as I could have my MTTG family be my team.
There we
we're
go.
there, Jared.
Yes. Thimble Black, 1v1 League of Legends tournament. Fun fact, I won the 1v1 league tournament at my local college.
Hey,
Nice.
there you go.
Nice.
Look at that.
Buy a couple chicken dinners.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think the prize was $5,000 on it. That's okay. Over on Facebook, we got Josh Brandt, GoldenEye 007 N64.
There you go.
Kale Meeks, me in 2018, Overwatch, hashtag humblebrag. Me in 2001, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I like that. Jeff Swan, Amplitude for PS2. There was a time during college where I ranked number 4 in the world by overall score.
Wow.
Ooh.
It was also a time where I failed calculus twice.
Yeah. You take the good and take the bad.
Exactly.
Unrelated, I'm
Take
sure.
them both, and there you have the facts of gaming.
That's right.
Over on the Twitter sphere, DrewBoo82 at DrewBrew82. Mario Tennis 64. I would own it. And Donkey Kong Jr. He's a Donkey Kong Jr. FTW.
Look at
That's
that.
right. Jody Nielsen at Jody Draws. Accurate portraiture.
Oh, she's got that.
She's
Yeah,
got that
that's
on
done.
lockdown.
That is done.
That girl can draw.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. It's one of those things I'm so jealous of. I wish I could draw so bad.
I know.
So do I. I hate it.
Gabe, you can draw so bad.
That is true. Now that I
Where's
think
your
about
grade?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Achievement
Spot on.
unlocked. Yeah. Nate Inberg at Nate Inberg. If I was Tim, I'd say stick and rock.
Yeah, here we go.
And the community getting in on it.
No, always, man. Always.
I like it.
Yeah, that's good.
Nick Miller at Mick Niller. Battlefield 1 or GoldenEye.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, that's quite the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
New
Right.
school and old school. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/Married to the Games. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Like Ed said, you can find us at YouTube.com/Married to the Games, MarriedToTheGames.com, and now on Patreon. Patreon.com/MTTG.
Mm.
We appreciate y'all. Oh, man. And Tim.
Rate us on iTunes because, as Placencia Sr. has said, it's pretty okay.
There you go.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a
I like
good
that.
one. Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, we're going to start with some Discord JH sweeps. Do you ever take a break from social media, and for what reasons?
Oh,
It's a good one.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't because I don't social media.
Yeah.
Outside
true.
of the Married to the Games Twitter. And every now and then I'll post something on my Gabe Patillo Instagram, but it's
Yep.
pretty few and far between.
Yeah. Me too, man. I'm kind of with you. It's funny, like I don't post a lot because I don't think a lot of people want to know about me, or like it's like I don't know. It's just weird. I just don't. I find myself very average and very boring. So why would I do something like that? But I love seeing other people, and so I'll go on Facebook and I like Instagram just because it's so visual. And so I like just seeing what other people are doing.
There
And
you
it's
go.
probably it's kind of always a reverse thing. Like if I posted more, I think people would enjoy that too. But I feel like I'm boring, so it's like whatever.
Yes.
Hmm.
I understand the feeling.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes. Okay.
Probably I take a break when I go out. Like if I leave the house, I
Yeah.
pretty much don't check it. If I'm with people hanging out, for the most part, I don't really spend time on the phone the entire time. So it's usually when I'm on the computer itself is when I'm doing most of my social
Yeah,
media.
because it's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Chris?
I don't ever like consciously like, oh, I'm going to break now, and then I break.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, if I'm busy doing, at work or whatever, then I'll do it. But if I have some downtime, I'm usually going to be checking in on Twitter or something. Mostly looking for, I like to find like news stories or find like what's going on that, what's the chain, what wacky thing is Trump saying now, or what new game just got announced, or I like to check
Mhm.
things. I may not always be engaging back, but I'll at least be checking in on stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh, we have a voicemail question,
Ooh.
Oh.
right?
Hi, I'm Denise. I posted on Facebook for your phone number, and after checking your official site, it was not there. Thanks, Chris, for the number. Now, on that page, I noticed your age posted. Imagine my surprise when I noticed Ed is actually older than Tim. I, by the way, at age 55, am older than either. I thought I had
Nice.
it all mixed up, but without going back through all your podcasts, can you please answer my question? What is it with Tim? Is he an old soul? Is he ageless? Is he old-fashioned? Is he lying about his age? All of the above? Please, I need to know. I'm sure others need to know. Maybe Tim needs to know. What is it about Tim? I love your podcast. Downloaded it when I got my iPad over a year ago and never regretted it. Thanks, guys. Bye now.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
Awesome.
Love
How
that.
It was
sweet.
great to hear from you.
Love that.
What is it with Tim? He's not
What
the
is it?
oldest.
I know. That is incredible. I was like, wait, what did I do? What happened? Did I kill someone? Not know it? What
I
happened?
know, right?
Oh my gosh, that was excellent.
You know what's funny? Like, I'm not trying to be an old soul. You guys are just doing it for me. But I've always thought, like, I feel like I want to stay as young as possible. Like,
That's right.
I want to be young. I want to be healthy for my daughter and for my wife. I want to, do stuff. And like, I never want to just sit down and do nothing. And so maybe that's it.
And the origin too of Tim being old. Tim, how old are you?
I am 43.
43. So, and I'm 36. And so, so when we first started the podcast, it was me, Tim, and another guy named Tim. And
Right.
the other Tim was younger than me. And so Router was definitely the oldest.
Yeah.
And so
Exactly.
that's where that's where Tim being the oldest and the old man
Came
of the
from,
podcast
yes.
started. And
That's
then
when it originated. Yeah.
when Ed came on, Ed and Chris, yes, Ed is older than Tim, but you just got to keep the party going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch
you gotta
it.
have
Kind
fun
of-
with it.
Kind of the humor I find is in me teasing Tim for being the old one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's and I actually love that, but because I'm like, oh, that's the pot calling the kettle old. But it's like I love that you rib on me too. Like, I've totally embraced it now. It's just awesome, and I love that the community's getting involved in it too. So I think maybe I should just come out in a wheelchair at 300 and just be done with it.
Yes.
Oxygen tank.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll get the whole nine. I'll get like a little rascal scooter and come on out. How you doing, everybody?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Hover around.
That's right, exactly.
Big plaid
Now I can
blanket
be
on
at
your lap.
300. Thanks.
Yeah, get a plaid blanket. Always wearing a sweater with a tissue in my hand. Absolutely, done
Always
and
having
done.
a tissue in my hand.
It's all
such a
crumpled
great
up,
detail.
right? It's all crumpled up and
It's
wet.
like
It's
he has wiped
gross.
his nose with that thing 95 times.
And never washed it.
That thing
They
hasn't
never washed it,
disintegrated
nope.
yet.
I've got the cardigan with the two pockets in the front, so I can put my tissue in it.
He's going to
Oh
announce
my
that he's
gosh.
stopping gaming because he took up knitting. And it's really
Because
awesome.
Yeah. And I can't. My fingers don't work too well because of the arthritis. That was an awesome voicemail. Thank you so much for
Yes,
that.
that was
I think that's
amazing.
great.
That was fun.
And it's
That
good.
was
Like
sweet.
that's actually a good summary, Gabe, too, of actually how it all started. Because yes, I was the elder until Ed came around, and I'm still the elder apparently. So it all works out. It all works out fine.
There's no reason to take your mantle away from you.
Yeah, why? Yeah, embrace.
earned
So
it.
I embrace it. I completely embrace it. Exactly. It's awesome.
Oh, shoot.
Don Starlancer, looking back, here we go. What do you remember most fondly from the 90s pop culture? The clothes, the colors, the hair,
Holy
the gold-
crap. That is literally almost the question of the week. Oh,
No.
How does that happen? That's so
What?
left center. What the heck?
That's crazy. All right, so what do you remember? The clothes, the colors, the hair, the golden age of hip hop, whatever comes to mind. Bonus if, quote, someone has an 1890s memory to share. Well, January 15th, 1892, James Naismith publishes The Rules of Basketball, and the first official game of basketball is held 5 days later at the YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yes, and you officiated.
And I officiate November 7th,
He's like,
1890
traveling? They're like, what's traveling? You're like, traveling?
I don't know. Traveling.
He's like, I'm just making it up.
November 7th, 1893, women in Colorado are granted the right to vote. It
Oh,
was a glorious day.
Good job.
April 19th, 1897, the first Boston Marathon is run with 15 runners,
Hey.
won by John McDermott.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
September
Tim got second.
And I got second. Right. It was a good year. It was a little chilly that day. September 1st, 1897, the era of the subway begins when the first underground public transportation in North America opens in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, you were a ticket taker.
Happy Old Man History Month, everybody.
I would think Tim would have been the first one doing the underground travel just with all the caves.
That's funny.
Woman.
Long way to drag you by hair.
Long way to drag my hair. Collect fruit and berry. I go build fire.
I love that.
All right. So, what do we remember fondly about the 90s?
Probably the music for me.
Yeah, honestly, that's me too.
It truly was the golden age of hip hop for me. Like that's when I was Tribe, Black Sheep, like every Gangstar, everybody, Biggie, Tupac,
Black
the whole
Star,
nine. Like,
Mos Def, Talib,
Talib,
the Fugees,
Common,
Ace of
everything. Ace of Base, exactly.
falls right in
I
there.
saw the sign. Yep, falls right in there. Gangstar and Ace of Base on tour.
Exactly. It's funny because we just had. So some of the guys on tour are a bit younger than us, like in their mid-20s. And so the other night on the bus, we had like a 90s hip-hop roundup and just played a bunch of songs. And so I'm right there with you guys. I have to say the 90s just because the hip-hop, just because we just did that the other night. And it was like all the memories were coming back.
Yeah, all the feels,
That's
right, man?
funny.
Oh,
Yes, all the Sonic
so
memories.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it's got to be the music too. And I don't listen to like traditional radio really. I'll listen to Spotify and I just find myself listening mostly to stuff that I've curated or other playlists that I've attached to. So every now and then I'll go into the charts, the top charts, and I'll go to like, country, or I'll go to rap, or I'll go to a hip hop or rock or whatever like that. And then when it comes to the rap side, it's like there's all these artists that I just don't know, and I've not been able to get into the emo auto-tune mumble rap stuff. Yeah, it just seems very emo to me, and I'm like, I don't really understand this, but I find myself, why am I not getting this? Like, it's weird, but I was like, man, all the rap that I that I like and I have in my playlist is all from the 90s. Like, I guess I'm just to that point where, all right, I'm not going forward anymore. I'm just going to stick with what I like.
I know.
Yeah.
It made me feel old too. I was like, these kids don't know nothing about
They don't
it.
know nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Plus that 90s must-see TV on NBC. Thursday night was a great night
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Oh,
Yeah.
Was it?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh,
Seinfeld,
yes.
Friends.
Seinfeld, Friends.
We
Will
weren't.
Grace,
We weren't a
like,
TV
all that.
family. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
That's a good one, Ed. The golden age of television too. Yeah, really great question. Thanks for that. We're gonna move on to Mr. Ham. Happy Kick Butts Day to you. No, this is not a day to celebrate violence or people's rear ends. It is a day we celebrate. I use that collective pronoun quite loosely. Our ability to kick those bad habits or break those addictions. So, gentlemen. Time to confess. What is a bad habit that you wish you could break? Or if you have already done so at some point in your storied lives, share with us what habit or addiction it was and how you did it. I knew I could stop cracking my neck and knuckles. Sometimes I feel like my joint age has been doubled because of it. Router, you're already there. Got any lotions or pain relief tips? Hashtag I only make fun because I care.
Man, bad habits.
That's a good one.
That is
Kick
a good
Butts
one.
Day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
I need to stop booting up black tar heroin.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, yeah.
That's taking a toll.
You definitely need
Yeah.
to kick that, please.
No, please, man.
Oh, man.
It's affecting your Overwatch game.
Exactly. I would say, man, gosh, that's a tough one. Because I've never had like I don't bite my nails or anything
Right.
like that. I was never like a heavy smoker.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Yeah, me neither. I will say for me, it sounds really stupid, but it's weird. I eat really fast. And so I don't enjoy my food as much. Like I just kind of gobble it up.
Yeah.
And so like that's always been a struggle for me, like just to take my time and enjoy stuff. Because I guess I'm just waiting for something to happen and I'm just like jump, eat and I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to slow down a little bit more and let the digestive process happen and just, relax for a little bit. And I get these waves, and especially now with Easter and all the chocolate eggs and everything, I have a wicked sweet tooth right now.
Do you?
So
right.
I'm all about those Nestle Crunch Easter eggs, those little
Amen.
ones.
Yeah. Amen.
I will tear into the bag, no problem.
I would say, so I've always been kind of a homebody. And so I would say the road has really helped me go outside my comfort zone and try things that I wouldn't. So I'd say
That's awesome.
I'd say a bad habit of mine that I had when I was younger was just like sticking to what I know instead of like living life to the fullest. And I feel like I've lived life to the fullest more in the last probably I don't know 5 to 7 years than I did earlier in my youth.
Kids will help you with that too, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's
very
really true.
Chris?
The only thing really that I can think of, because bad habit is such like a eye of the beholder kind of thing.
Yep.
Mine's kind of similar to to Tim's. I find that, especially when I'm at work, it really doesn't become an issue when I'm at home. But if I'm at work, I will just find myself kind of, I guess, maybe getting a little bit bored and be like, I'm going to go for a walk. So I'll just walk away from my desk for a little bit. I need a little bit of a break. But I will go and eat something. I'll go because there's candy and donuts and whatever everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I've gotten to the point where I may still go take the little walk and take a little break or whatever, but either I won't eat or I'll make sure that I go and get something, like
A little on the healthier side.
Also, yeah, because there's like cute. Everybody also right now has cuties and stuff at their desk, or maybe I'll get a banana or something.
Cutie.
There's usually some fruit somewhere. It's all
awesome.
the candy and everything's out there, and it's like, oh yeah, and over there we got some fruit. I'm like, okay, I'll go to that table, and that's what I'll get. Yeah.
for you.
There you go.
When I'm at home, I don't know. Like I can go hours upon hours without eating and not even realize it. But when I'm at work, man, something about sitting there editing, and I was like, oh well, it's snack time.
Exactly.
5 minutes later,
Yeah.
it's
I
snack
don't know
time
what it
again.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Edward?
Yep.
I used to bite my nails.
Yeah, you did.
And then, I pretty much don't bite them anymore.
Is that on
Well,
purpose?
that's good.
It just kind of happened.
that's
It
what I
wasn't
was
like it wasn't like an intentional thing. I just kind of realized one day, I don't do that anymore. So I don't know. Probably now when I'm driving, I definitely get angry a lot faster than I used to. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I wish I could just like let things slide rather than I need to get that guy back. Or
No,
Ah,
man.
yeah.
And
No,
so
just
I
cuss
wish I
him
could let
out. It's
that
fun.
Roll off my
It's a good release.
Yeah.
right.
Just cuss them out. It's fun.
Trust me, dude. Drive with me
Oh, my
when
gosh.
we drive into New York City. Drive with me. It's so much fun.
Ugh.
It really is because you blend right in, man. It's perfect. It's
That's
amazing.
true. I
And
bet.
honestly,
if you don't
it
want to look
sounds-
like a tourist,
exactly,
Right, you gotta
it
cut
sounds
somebody
really
out.
stupid. It sounds really stupid, but it really is kind of a great release too. It's like you could just cuss
Yeah,
somebody out and be done with it. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about like if you get frustrated with something, just like or whatever, like let it
Yeah.
out right then, and then it's
Yep.
gone. It's like
Yeah.
and Stacy sometimes I don't think I'm anything near the level that Tim's describing, but there's times where I'll get frustrated because somebody won't let me
Thanks
over or
for that,
something like
Chris.
that, and I'll be like, come on, and Stacy's like, why do you say that? They don't hear it, only I do. I'm like, yeah, but I already feel way better having said
Yeah.
it.
well, there's all
Exactly.
kind of studies about that release and why cursing makes you feel better. And I think it's because of what we've put on those words. It's not the actual words themselves that
Yes.
make you feel better,
Mhm.
but
Yes.
what we've done to those words. It's really interesting. They do say
Yeah.
it does something though.
Yep.
But I get it. Like when she makes the point of like that person's not hearing it, I am. And so
Yes, that's a
I
great
try
point.
not to do that anymore either. But I try to let her know it's like it's not about making sure that person knows I'm upset. It's about just letting it go so I can
Yeah,
get it
just-
out.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So, anyways,
There you go.
Very good question, Mr. Ham. As always, he's been coming up with some good zingers, and it's great to have him on Discordia with us so he can continue that. I love.
Yeah, it is.
I love getting his questions. Nova Beyond, Patrick Novosel. So my daughter's 8th birthday party is coming up this weekend, and it's a candy theme. We will be having a life-size Candyland board for the kids.
Ooh,
Giant
wow.
lollipops, cotton candy machine will be up and running, and other candy-themed games and prizes. Looking back on themed birthdays you've had for your kids or birthdays you've attended, what has been your favorite or what was the most memorable? That is awesome.
Oh,
And happy 8th birthday to your daughter, by the way.
yeah, that's right. Man, that is a tough one because I try to avoid parties at all costs. I am a
I love
I
parties.
mean, I'm a Grinch when it comes like if Jenny's like, "Hey, we have a party on like that's the worst news I
Yeah.
can get is we have
Tell
a
me
party."
about it.
Which is so weird because me and you, Ed, are so extroverted,
yeah, you are.
and
Yeah.
for some reason, when it comes to parties, I'm not.
You
trying to
clam
go.
up.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's work for me. Like I need to rest afterwards and not be near anyone.
That is funny.
Especially if it's people that like if it's Sarah's like, hey, we're getting together with all the Zumba people, my Zumba friends, and I'm like, I don't know any of them.
yeah.
I don't want to hang out with. I don't want to
not
get
trying
to
to
know.
know.
Any of them.
I'm not trying to know him. Zumba, Zumba. There you go.
I'm good with how many friends I've got.
Who's the old one now, sucker?
I know, right? I don't need to be set up on a play date with other husbands.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that's
That
the
is
weird one.
worst.
It feels awkward, but yeah.
Tim, you go first since you love parties.
I do love parties. The one that we did for Piper that I really loved was her 5th birthday. We rented out the Franklin Theater and we played The Little Mermaid, and she dressed up as a Little Mermaid, and like all of her friends were around. We invited everybody from her preschool to all the friends that we know, and it was just a great time to be together with everyone. And I had so much fun. Just went around while the movie's going and just checking on everybody and saying hi to people. And it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. But it's weird because when you're a parent and you get involved in especially now with the whole kindergarten and even in preschool, like there were so many birthday parties that we went to. Like at one weekend, it was 3 of them. And it's just like, of course it gets old after a while, but it also depends on the party. And depends on who's there. Like there are some parents that I know, and so I'll just sit and talk to them for the whole time, and it makes time go faster. Or one of them has them at like a jump zone trampoline place, and I'm right out there with the kids jumping with them because I have fun with that. And I'll go out with Piper, and if you actually participate with it, it makes time go quicker, and then you're done, and then then you're out of there. So sometimes
when you're sitting there looking at your watch, it's like watching paint dry. You're like, oh my gosh.
Exactly. So instead of doing that, I'll just be like, well, screw this. Let's just make lemonade out of lemons here and make this happen. And so I'll go jumping or do whatever. And I usually just check on Piper and see what she's doing. And she'll be like, Daddy, come over here and do this. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. So I'm pretty laid back with it. But yeah, her 5th birthday was a lot of fun. It was good.
There you go. Chris?
I can't honestly think of one because I never had a themed birthday party that I can remember. I mean, maybe when I was little and I don't remember it, but not when I was of an age where I could recall. And then like we've had birthday parties and stuff for our nieces and nephews, but I can't recall one that had a designated theme, like where everybody's like, oh, show up in your, Superman outfit or whatever.
Yeah.
I honestly can't think of one.
We had a pajama party at my house back when I lived in Spring Hill. I don't remember what it was for though, but it was really fun. And I just remember a lot of adults being there. I don't remember any kids being there. So it was like a grown people's party. And then it was really sweet. We had some really sweet times with the Routers for Halloween years ago.
It will come back. It will come back, brother.
Do you remember?
It will come back.
But the girls were really young.
Yep.
And it was the first time I ever met Hall. And we used to sit in their driveway with a fire pit and give out candy to the kids that came by.
I'll never
and
forget
those were
that
really
Halloween
sweet
either.
times, man.
Yeah, it was a great time, man.
Yeah,
it can be again. We normally would have our Halloween party, but we moved into our house right before then. There was no way. But next year, we already said we're back
at it.
We're back at it. So you're coming over.
There you go. What about you there, awesome. Eduardo?
I'm kind of like Chris. I never really had a theme party or went to one.
I don't remember any of that either.
I had like a G.I. Joe party, like G.I. Joe cake and like Transformers cake and that kind of stuff. I mean, it wasn't like everybody dressed up as G.I. Joe or anything, but it was at least a theme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I had stuff like that when I was little where like, oh, my mom probably threw me where like the cake and the plates all had Mario.
She's very disappointed right now. She's like, I put in so much work.
I know, right? She's screaming at
and
you.
You're like, I don't remember.
I guess just in terms of the question, I was thinking something where like, everybody's told ahead of time and the kids come wearing something along the theme. And so that's where my head went. And I can't think of anything like that at all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good question, though.
Great question. We got a few more. Fluxel. Sunday is National Waffle Day. Where do you go for the best waffles and what toppings are you ordering? Bacon and maple syrup here. So we had pancakes last week, so I figured this week it'd be waffles. Bacon and maple syrup on waffle sounds amazing. I'd be all over that.
I'm a chicken and waffles guy myself.
Yeah, buddy.
And that junk, I never get it because I didn't grow up having that. And I feel like I didn't realize that existed till later in my life. But anytime I do it, I'm like, ooh, that is good.
Hey, have you been to Gray's in downtown? They've got a good chicken and waffles.
Do they? I've been there, but I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I need to get that next time. That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Chris?
I don't really eat waffles. I like them, and occasionally I'll have them, but I just usually, if I go somewhere, pancakes is more where my head goes. So I don't have a recommendation on a certain place to get them. The last time I had them is when we had the pancake breakfast at work. Somebody also brought a waffle maker, and I also had some waffles.
Along with your pancakes?
Along with your 67 pancakes.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, they were great.
There
I'm
you
with
go.
you, Chris. I don't eat a whole lot of waffles or pancakes because I'm more of an eggs and bacon kind of a guy. But I'll just do waffles with butter and syrup and just let that syrup soak in for a little bit. And,
Amen. Oh,
so good.
Hallelujah.
So good. Ed?
Yeah, I'm the same way where when it comes to like French toast, pancakes, and waffles is my least favorite. So I usually get the other two.
Is waffles and pancakes different?
I think there's just more baking soda in the waffles than there is in
And waffles
in
tend to
pancakes or
be
something.
crispier, and so they might be a little stiffer, and some people don't care for that. It doesn't really bother
Right.
me, but
Yeah,
to me,
you're
that's...
I've just always
that-
wondered if they were different, if it's the same mix, just in a different way of
I think
it's-
making
it's
it
close. I think it's close. I think you just add a little extra for that fluff, I think.
in the pancakes.
Yeah, maybe. Like when we
that
were
makes
making
sense.
them at work that day, it was the same mix, and we just poured it in either you put it
Oh,
on the
there you
griddle
go.
or you put it in the waffle maker. So
That's
I don't
right.
know if
Oh, right.
that's supposed to be any different. Yeah, I don't know.
But I understand from a fluff and crisp standpoint. Is that what you're
Yeah.
kind of saying, Ed? That's what you like, the fluff more than the crispiness?
I just waffles to me is usually more work to cut. I
Okay.
don't know. I just don't like it. I'd rather have a pancake.
I like it.
I do like the little
I
syrup.
don't like cutting
the
into a
little
grid,
syrup
thank
cups
you.
that you get inside the waffles, and you just fill up each little divot with syrup.
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I like
that's
that.
the best, man.
So, Ed,
Like
but
little
if
pools.
somebody made waffles and there wasn't pancakes available, you would eat the waffle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not a crazy person.
He'd just
No,
be
no,
grunting the whole time while he's cutting his grid.
Yeah, he's like, this is
Can I have a
taking
steak knife
forever.
for my
yeah,
waffle?
exactly. Anybody got a
This is
chainsaw?
All right.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
Sure wish I had some French toast right now.
Yeah, don't eat those waffles.
You guys got
All
some
right.
cereal?
That's right. You got any peanuts?
Petrified waffle.
That's funny.
That's hilarious. All right, two more questions. Facebook, Fonzie Maldonado just got a new gaming headset. I was wondering, what headsets do you all use? Everybody go.
I'm using Skull Candies
Ooh,
with the
Nice.
inline mic on the cord.
nice.
Chris, Astro, something or other.
On the PS4, I have the Turtle Beach Elite 800s. I got them when the generation started. They still sell them, but they're cheaper now, at least to some
Nice.
extent from when I bought them. And on the Xbox One, I used to just use the little boom thing that it came with. But when I got PUBG, and that was not going to cut it. And so I went ahead and got a headset that I think Arctic Warlocks had mentioned to me. It's the Turtle Beach Stealth 700 series. They have it for both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And the cool thing about the Stealth series is that it connects to the console wirelessly without having to plug in like a dongle or anything.
Nice.
The thing about my Elite 800s is they technically are connected to the console via a wire because it has a base station, which I really liked about that is because when I take the headset off, I just set it to the base station, it magnetizes there, and then it charges, so I didn't have to plug in a cable. That was the main reason I got it originally.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really like it has Bluetooth, so like I can be listening to music or get a phone call or whatever and still play the game. And you can use it for movies or anything connected to the PS4. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome. Mine's kind of the same thing. I have the Steel Series, the Siberia P800 for the PS4, and that has a little base as well. So you plug in the USB, and man, I love it because the fit on my head it's nice and tight. So everything just sounds really good. And I used to just rock the golds, the Sony golds, but these are to me, I think these are way better. So
There you go. Ed, what about you?
On the Xbox, I use the came with the Xbox, and on the PS4, I use the came with the PS4.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
surprised with your personality you don't just switch it up and use the came with the Xbox on the PS4 and the came with the PS4 on the Xbox.
Well, they don't plug into the same. They have different plugins.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I have the Xbox because the new controllers have the
yeah, the new
headphone
one
jack.
they have the same connector.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
Yes.
the original Xbox had that weird proprietary connection.
Yeah,
Yes.
that thing is weird looking.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the final question, and I think it's going to be a little controversial. So here we go. Katie
Are tennis balls yellow or green?
Close. Katie Mather got another very important, very controversial food question.
Uh-oh.
Are Cheetos chips?
Yes.
No,
They're puffs.
See?
Cheetos
puffs.
are a chip.
no, they're not.
Yes, they are.
So what are? Well, okay. So then, what are they? If they're not a chip, they're just
They're a
Cheetos
puff.
or
They're a puff.
Oh, I like that.
They're
Okay.
like a popcorn. They're closer to a popcorn than they are a chip.
Yeah, popcorn isn't a chip. It's a popcorn.
Okay. But they're in the chip aisle.
Yeah,
but
so is soda.
But so is
and dip.
popcorn and so is pretzels. Okay, yeah,
Soda-
never mind.
Soda and dip.
Are soda and dip in the same aisle as chips?
It depends
here
on where
they
you
are.
go.
Yeah.
If you're at Walgreens, it's all the same
It's all
aisle.
it's all in the same
with
aisle.
Sharpies and paper clips.
Fingernail polish.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. So, Chris,
And
you say they
Nair.
are a chip.
Really,
I
Chris?
mean, I feel like yeah, they're a chip, but I mean, I'm not like so tied to it that like I can't be convinced otherwise. Y'all make good arguments. I'll go
I'm
with that.
definitely,
Whatever.
I'm definitely convinced that it's a puff. That's a good call. It's definitely, yeah, I like that. It's not a chip. It's a puff.
I mean, but is there
And-
like a specified somewhere definition of what a chip is? Like that it has to be made out of potato and it has to be like roundish. I mean,
No, it's
why
gotta be
can't a puff
flat.
be a chip?
It's got to be flat. That's what it is, I think.
I think you
So
might be
that's-
right.
That's defined somewhere, or is that just the Eduardo?
Well,
Of
no,
course, that's
definition.
the Eduardo definition.
according to the National Chip Association,
Chip Guild.
Send me a link. I don't believe that's a thing.
I don't
that's
believe
the
it is.
NCA.
Okay, go ahead. What is it?
They say it's got to be like flat.
I think you're full of garbage, and I'm gonna go back with my original.
all right, Col-
Here-
All
here's-
right,
listen,
Columbus,
listen,
what do you
listen,
got?
listen. On in the dictionary,
Sure.
chip is usually something that is thin,
Okay.
and even when it comes to wood, it's
Yes, that's true.
that's one of
yes.
the things. Is that
Well,
it's
yeah.
yeah. So it's like
Okay.
anything small around, or a slice, or
Yeah.
a thin something.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay.
So maybe that helps in the chip food world. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I love these controversial food.
What do you
Or
think,
you can
Tom?
look at the B definition: a small piece of food, and that would that would
I don't
define
see
chip.
that. I don't see that. Yeah, no.
And also fish and chips. You know, that's French fries, but they call them chips, and
Right.
that counts as a chip. So if
That's-
that can be
yeah.
a chip, then a Cheeto is a chip.
Well,
No,
Okay,
they're,
he's
they're
calling it.
crazy.
That's
We
a
all know
different,
fries aren't chips.
Well,
Right.
yeah, we know that.
That's
but
that's
It's a
just
different
British
culture.
slang for yeah, it's a different culture.
That's
But yeah,
true.
I like that. I like it. It's a puff, and
Yeah.
it's not a chip.
And it's
I
more
always say
akin
a
to
puff chip.
a popcorn.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't agree with
Which
that.
is not a chip.
I don't agree with that at all.
You would say it's closer to a popcorn than like a chip, though, right? Like a Lay's potato chip.
No, but you don't go pull a Cheeto kernel off of something and then pop it and it turns into a Cheeto.
No, I understand that.
Piece of
No.
corn
Yeah,
turns
yeah.
into that just by heating
So then
it up,
what's a
you know?
all right? Well, then what's a pretzel? A pretzel? Does the brand itself identify what it is? If a pretzel is just a pretzel and it's not derived from a chip, then is a Cheeto just a Cheeto and it's not a chip? But I like your answer. I like that Cheetos is a puff.
A cheese puff.
That's right.
It's a cheese puff, a cheesy puff, which are delicious, by the way. Oh, I
Yes.
want some Cheetos now.
There we go. I'll go with puff
Dang.
too.
Yeah,
Good
I like
question.
Our answer is inconclusive.
It's
Our
puff.
answer is
No, our answer is
three.
puff.
that. Our answer is 3-1, puff versus chip.
No, Chris said he liked puff.
Okay,
I do
all
like
right.
puff. I
All
like
right,
that.
so he was swayed. He was
Yeah,
swayed.
we're going with puff.
All
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
there you
puff
go.
it is.
not a chip, but
All
a
right.
puff.
That's it for all the questions. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that.
I love it.
Yeah.
The question of the week, which strangely almost happened, but it was just a different decade that I was asking about. I feel like with Ready Player One coming around the corner, this whole Atari thing, 80s and technology is kind of trying to do its thing with the NES Classic and everything that came out a couple years ago. So what out of the 80s do you miss the most in the gaming world? The 80s. Not the 90s, but the 80s. And I was going to say Oregon Trail and arcades. What I missed the most. Out of the
it
80s
would
when
definitely
comes to
be
gaming.
arcade. It would definitely be arcades for me. I loved going when we were at the beach at Ocean City, New Jersey. There were 2 arcades on the boardwalk, and I would dump a ton of quarters in both of those places.
There you go.
I love arcades.
Eduardo?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't miss anything really, just because things have gotten so much better. But I got to go with arcades. When you said that, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
arcades has got to be in for me.
There you go. Christopher?
My answer's kind of similar to Ed's, at least that first part. Like I'm the same way. I feel like things are just so much better today that there's very few things I look back and like, oh, it was better back in.
Oh,
this
I'm
day.
not saying better. I just say miss.
Well, or that I miss necessarily. The only thing that I really can think of is that at least back in the 80s, couch co-op was way more prevalent. You had way more options for that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Whereas
man.
today, that's very far and few between.
That's very true. I totally agree with that.
I do wish that was implemented a little bit more, which I know like in Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't make sense for there to be a couch co-op necessarily in something like that maybe, but there's a lot of games today that it still feel like this could easily have a couch co-op mode. Why is this not there? I mean, just put it in.
Yeah.
Just put it in.
Yeah.
I like that.
Tim, did you have an answer?
Arcades, definitely.
Yeah. Arcades. Let us know what you guys missed the most in the gaming world from the 80s. Because I think it would be awesome to hear about and take us down memory lane. In the 1980s. Not take Tim down memory lane, but the 1980s.
I was memory lane.
From the literal 80s.
Tim started the lane.
I started the whole thing.
He's like,
You're
what are
welcome.
you doing with all those bricks? You're like, I'm starting a memory lane.
That's right.
It's gonna lead to assignment.
Exactly. I like that. Let us know. Use hashtag answer MTTG, of course. Thank you guys so much for listening. 288 in the books, 12 weeks
Wow.
till episode 300 going down in Nashville, Tennessee. I think you can sign up. Somebody explain the Facebook. Who did that?
Oh yeah, there's a Facebook event, and you can check out. We've got the dates there. You can RSVP for all the dates or specific dates, and as we get times and what have you nailed down, we'll be sure and update the times and what have you. But it's the 300 MTTG 300 celebration event. RSVP. Let us know you're going to be there.
Yeah, it would actually be very, very helpful for us to have a accurate head count.
Yeah, at least close. Yeah,
If
exactly.
you really, if you think you're actually going to be there, a lot of people have already booked their accommodations. Just swing by the old Facebook group and say like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be there."
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna be there.
Michael McDonald's coming, which is fun. Just kidding. Don't show up thinking you're going to meet Michael McDonald.
We're gonna stream episode 300 for those who aren't aware, and I'm gonna have Drac show up. I couldn't get Drake, so I just found a guy named Drac. He's gonna
It's without
show up.
the E.
I'm looking really forward to that. Yep.
It's
We'll
without
have the
E.
chubby ninja.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That'll definitely be there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just in case anybody needs a beatdown. I got you. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris
Come on out,
McCracken.
Gabe's gonna beat you up.
Yeah, exactly. Only if you need Chubby Ninja to activate. Otherwise, it's just going to be me there without my outfit
I
on.
like activate like it's a switch.
Yeah, it is.
know, right?
It's
Chubby
definitely a
Ninja,
switch.
activate.
Yeah.
Activate Chubby Ninja.
If I don't have the outfit on, I'm just chubby. And we
Amazing.
are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Beans! One, two, three, Mark.
Mark. Sorry, I was way off. I'm just listening to you and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do something.
Like, man,
I'm
you
sorry.
did last week. Chris isn't the one
Yeah.
that's late.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, I totally, y'all all did it and I'm just
There's
looking.
a 56K modem this time.
I totally did that last week too. I totally forgot to just say Mark.